When I meet someone, I am trying to do nothing other than meet somebody at their humanity. Tyler Perry. Greetings. My name is Joseph Yagar. Welcome to another Life in Perspective broadcast. My objective is to provide thought-provoking discussions so you can optimize your perspective on life. Refuse hate was the premise of Tyler Perry's speech when accepting a Humanitarian award at this year's Oscars. And of course, the mainstream media and press could not resist putting a negative spin on it, claiming that his statement about refusing to hate police officers drew criticism, and the crowd applause subsided at that part of the speech. How typical! Well, I found the speech to be inspirational, mature, uplifting, and far more relevant and necessary than anything the press and mainstream media, which to me has lost all credibility, had to say. They may have freedom of the press, but freedom is the least of their message. Before I continue, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so by clicking the subscribe link below. You may also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Tyler spoke of his upbringing in poverty and abuse and his ability to grow up without hate when many around him living the same reality chose otherwise. He credits his mother for her example. At the end of the speech, Tyler got a standing ovation, and deservedly so. It was a message of peace, unity, and hope for a time that is begging for such an olive branch. Instead, the media chose to pour on the criticism and stoke the flames of division and hatred. I watched that speech over and over, looking for any justification for the criticism, and could find none. However, I do recognize that 2020 has offered those who refuse to let go of their hate a platform to reinforce it, and for the media and politicians the crisis of the century to feed on and promote their brand. And as long as there is an audience for hate that prefers to hold on to it rather than contribute to its disintegration, this baseless lunacy will continue. From the top down, the language of distrust and animosity has never been louder. Political parties and their constituents feuding, pointing fingers, and promote distant ideals. Racial and ethnic discrimination penetrated the minds of neutrals more than I have ever witnessed. Entire professions are vilified for the wrongdoing of a few, and free societies, once the desired destinations of most, are reconsidered as such because, in the words of many I speak with these days, it has become unhealthy to live here. Heaven forbid someone should stand up and offer a ray of hope and a message of defiance against hate, a receding applause interpreted for no reason, in my opinion, other than to instigate as condoning police brutality, and a standing ovation utterly dismissed as a show of unity for a message well received and the celebration of an award well placed in the hands of a humanitarian. I share the frustration and acknowledge that the grave emotional imbalance brought on by the events of 2020 got most of us caught up in the chaos at some point. Tyler's speech reminded us that it's time for the dust to settle and for us to return to meeting each other in our humanity. To refuse debate laid before us by those who claim to keep us informed because we end up misinformed. To see the error in judgment and let go the notion that it is better to be right than be at peace. To have the courage to live our heart rather than to pander to expectations that rob us of it. And for once and for all, take responsibility for our contribution or lack thereof, for why we even have to have this conversation. So, let's make a stand and declare, here and now, that it's time to refuse hate. Please like, subscribe, and share this video, and let me know what topics you would like my perspective on in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.